Thank you so much, everyone. It is an honor and a privilege to be sworn in for a second term as District Attorney for Colorado's 17th Judicial District, and to continue to serve the people of Adams and Broomfield counties and this community that I so dearly love. 4 years ago, when I first took this oath, the scenario was much different. We were in the middle of a devastating pandemic, which wreaked havoc on our entire society, but had a particularly dramatic impact on the criminal justice system. We couldn't do jury trials. In fact, we had a backlog, a historic backlog, of cases that were waiting to go to trial and couldn't because of the pandemic. In fact, one of my first and earliest memories as the district attorney was calling our then health department and pleading that they approve vaccines for our public defenders, our judges, our court staff, and our district attorney's office so that we could reopen and get back to the work of doing justice. Of the many surprises that I have had in my first 4 years as the district attorney, one that I couldn't have expected was the number of people who decided they no longer wished to go into this profession. And one of the other major things that we faced 4 years ago was a significant drop in trust for the criminal justice system writ large, but especially for those of us in law enforcement and at DA's offices. And again, that challenge impacted our ability to do this work. And I confess that I ask myself some days, and I also suspect many of my colleagues do the same, why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep doing this work? Because the truth is, in our profession, in our work, we deal with some hard things. We deal with humanity, but most often humanity when it's not at its best. We see things that we cannot unsee, and so it's hard. And why do we do it? We do it because we care about the community. We care about the two pillars upon which I have organized my time as the district attorney, which is to keep the community safe and to make the criminal justice system better. And those two are not mutually exclusive. Much of what we do at the DA's office is reactive. We respond to the actions of other people. Someone commits a crime, law enforcement investigates, and then they bring it to us. And we at the DA's office review that case. We review it for evidence. We review it for the status of the law. And then we make a decision on what we believe is just. And that's always going to be a big part of what we do. But it's your DA's office, at this DA's office here in Adams and Broomfield counties, we are not only reactive, but we are proactive. And we are proactive on some of the biggest issues that impact our society. And I want to tell you about a couple of them. I'll start with fentanyl. In 2022 in Commerce City, 5 people died in one incident from fentanyl poisoning. And at the time, it was the largest such event of anywhere in the country. And this community and our office was thrust into the national conversation about what to do about the opioid pandemic and what to do about fentanyl specifically. And we responded. And we responded in part by going to our friends at the legislature and working to change the laws in the state so that we could not only hold dealers of this poison accountable for dealing, but also hold them accountable for the deaths that they have caused. Domestic violence. The scourge of domestic violence only increased during the pandemic, and when I took office 4 years ago, my team and I said, we want to do more. We want to do something to address domestic violence in innovative ways, and we have. And we've done that first by creating a special victims unit at the DA's office that exclusively focuses on domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. We then created a high-risk domestic violence high-risk team that is every week and sometimes every day identifying survivors and victims of domestic violence and rushing services to them to keep them out of harm's way and to keep them alive. And with the enormous collaboration of so many people in this room, we're now working to bring to this jurisdiction a family justice center that will also provide services for victims of domestic violence, human trafficking, and sexual assault under one roof. And every community in the United States that has a family justice center has seen their domestic violence fatalities go down. I'm proud to say that ours have gone down in the last 4 years, but we're not done. Motor vehicle theft. I never thought when I took office 4 years ago that motor vehicle theft would become a signature issue. But you may or may not recall that Colorado, for a time, had the most number of motor vehicle thefts per capita of any state in the union. And so we took it on. We took it on again by going to the legislature and changing the laws to make them equitable. Because before the law changed, the penalty or the consequence for someone who stole a car depended on how much the car was worth. Which meant if you stole a BMW, you could be charged with a felony. But if you stole a 2005 Honda Accord, it was a slap on the wrist and a misdemeanor. And who are the people in our society who can least afford to go out and buy another car when their 2005 or 1991 Subaru, which is what I used to drive, gets stolen? We then started aggressively prosecuting those cases with the law change. And my office, this office, your DA's office, took down a huge motor vehicle theft ring at DIA. So this office responds to the needs of the community and proactively tries to keep us safe. Mental health. The mental health crisis in this country disproportionately impacts the criminal justice system. It impacts those who have been accused of crimes. It impacts those who have been victimized by crime. And it impacts those of us who are doing the work in the profession. We've prioritized that at this office. We've tried to destigmatize talking about mental health. And we've become a leader, not just here in our community, but in our state and in the nation, on all of the above. And I'm so proud of that. For me, the work of the District Attorney's Office and my colleagues at the District Attorney's Office is the best example of public service. It is public service at its best. And there is so much more work to be done, including on juvenile violent crime. And yet you should have faith and confidence that your district attorney's office is working around the clock. Achieving elected office is an accomplishment which I am mindful of today. And I couldn't do this work, nor would I be standing here if I hadn't always been surrounded by the love, support, and encouragement of the people in my life, many of whom have often given me courage when I was lacking it. I can't thank everybody today, but I'd like to thank some. First, to my colleagues at the District Attorney's Office, thank you for the work that you do each and every day to keep our community safe and to make the criminal justice system better. It is an honor to be your colleague. To my friends in public service, elected officials, both incoming and outgoing, to my colleagues in law enforcement and everybody who serves this community, thank you for your support of the DA's office and the work that we do. To my friends, thank you for always having my back, cheering me on, and nourishing me with your friendship. And finally, to my family, to my mom and dad, to my twin brother Jeff, who surprised me by being here today, to my uncles and my entire extended family, to my amazing children, you inspire me, and to my remarkable and courageous wife. I couldn't do this without you. And so the work continues. And I pledge that we will continue to follow the mantra to which our office and my entire team is committed. And that is this: to do the right thing at all times, in every case, to lead and serve with empathy and compassion and integrity. That is my pledge. That is our pledge to you. It is an honor to do this work, and it is an honor to serve. Thank you very much.